Ching. Hi, I'm Shala, and today I'd like to talk about my new single, Life is Great. よろしくね。
Life is great. Life is great. Everything is fine. I live day to day like this until I die. Life is great. Everything is fine. I live day to day like this. Tomorrow's a new day.
Okay, so tell me about the choreo.
I'm gonna laugh every time you say that. Okay, so the choreography for Life is Great. The entire piece is centered around this acting technique called the Meisner technique. I discovered the Meisner technique while I was in LA in 2017 after I filmed my Super Bowl commercial with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I thought maybe I should give acting a try, so I attended an acting class for the first time, but I was just observing. And in this acting class, they were doing Meisner technique, and I remember sitting there going, you know, I'd never seen anything like it, obviously because it was my first acting class, but the endless possibilities of what this technique can do, musically, lyrically, in movement, not just acting. And I was like, this will be great for other art forms. So I just kept that in my pocket, and 5 years later, I wrote this song, Life is Great. And so I wanted the choreography to also center around Meisner technique. When you watch the video, when you watch the choreography, the chorus choreography is always the same. But depending on which character is doing the choreography, it changes. You get to see the different experiences each character has in this world, and their personalities, and their different intentions. So that's the kind of the root of the choreography. I choreographed it in a dance studio in 元山、名古屋の元山のリンダンススクールってとこにいたんだけど、I usually start with improvising, and I just kind of throw paint everywhere. And as I was standing there, listening to the words, life is great, life is great, life is great, life is great. Obviously, it's a positive sentence. Life is great. So how would my movement respond to that? And for me, when I'm happy, I tend to look up. When I'm sad, I look down. When I'm excited, my movement gets bigger and open. And so I thought, life is great, life is great, life is great. And I chose to lean back, open my hands as wide as I could, open wide, 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 and look up. Because that's how I would interpret the sentence, life is great, in movement. Life is great. I'm talking about my feelings when I say everything is fine, everything is fine. Everything is fine. I think calm down, calm down. I also studied a little bit of miming in Paris. So there's elements of miming in this choreography. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. I live day to day like this until I die. The lyrics and the movement is centered around the Meisner technique. However, the lyrics is playing with antithetical concepts. So, life is great. Everything is fine. I live day to day like this until I die. Playing with light and darkness, shadows, contrast, and life and death. They're just extreme opposites, you know. In the world that we live in today, everything is very ding, 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 especially with like social media. Everything is just very hyper. So for me, it's like, well, what's the most hyper thing that you can think of? Life and death. Complete opposites. And so when I was thinking about I'll live day to day like this until I die, I was thinking about the Oeru character. How does she feel? What's going through her head? You know, I'm telling you that my life is great, but inside I actually don't want to live anymore. But death also scares me, you know? It's just these extremes emotions. What's the best thing that I can do right now is to compose myself and mask my identity. So that's why I go here. Because I'm holding on to my jacket. I live day to day like this until I die. Thinking of like the OL character no kanjou toka, I was like, how do I feel? How do I feel? How does it make me feel if I was her? And I just went, and that's why I do vomiting movements on die. Ugh. I love studying different American street dance styles. So you'll see moments of crumping in this choreography as well. So I'm doing power hands when I'm expressing death. But I come back up here to life is great. This character is reminding themselves, talking to themselves in the mirror. Life is great. Everything's fine. You've got this. Even if you don't believe it. So that's that moment. And when you watch the music video, you'll notice when the oeru odotteru toki, one moment she's like this, and the next minute she's like this. And it's like, for me, this is expressing, even though it's such a small movement, for me, in movement, it's expressing the kind of, なんかさ、なんだっけ、なんかこういうさ、人形で、カチャってやると顔が変わるやつないなんか so yeah that's what this is that's how my brain works anyway. The reason why I do this and do like the escalator thing is because I knew in the location we had the desks and I thought, oh, it'll be fun. I feel like the Ippongumaのキャラクターが多分なんだろうこうおちょこちょいキャラクターだから多分隠れたがるだろうそういうなんていうのもなんかマジくだらんことくだらんこと絶対やりたがるなと思ったから so that's why I do this like really cheesy thing dun. And then as I mentioned earlier I love the different street dance styles that come from America so and popping is one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites. So I was like I need to somehow put in something that's like some kind of boogaloo kind of some popping moves. I need to do it. I just basically do this and kind of do a camel walk thing. Do you know what? The only reason why I did that is because, to be honest, is because I was like, I want to put in popping moves. And because I went this way on screen, I need to go back in order to go back to center. Like, so I was like, what should I do? I chose to do the elbow up, like vertically up to the ceiling because I felt like I wanted this character to feel like a puppet. Here I go again, and you're telling me what to do, and I'm just your puppet. Gang. So that's why I remember I was like, I'm your puppet. So yeah, so incorporating miming and mixing it with popping the chain that's around my neck. And when you pull the string, because I'm a doll, I'm your puppet, my arm comes out. I don't know if that's in frame. But I'm a human being. I'm not a puppet. Like I'm actually, is it okay that I'm just talking about the entire thought process of the choreography? So that's why I go, no. And I just go, meh. And I spin. And I do this walking thing. I'm gonna do this so hopefully you guys can see. Because I remember thinking, I know what shot I want at the end. Because of the tables, because of the lights, I knew it was going to look beautiful if we shot the camera from here and we just pull back. I was like, yeah, it's going to look great. So I wanted something to come straight down, the barrel straight, go center. But for me, like this move that I do, I call it my baby dinosaur run. It's representing like restriction, but trying to like escape this reality that you've kind of, were you forced into it or did you squeeze yourself into it? I don't know. This character is trying to escape but she's still restricted. And then the final scene is you see her standing still, just looking straight into the lens, and you can feel her emotion. So yeah, so that's kind of like the overall reason why I chose the movements, and that's the skeleton. And when you see the Ipponguma doing the movements, you definitely see a more playful energy. So yeah, that's the choreography. Was that okay?
So what was the scary character based on?
I just burped. But if you look at the verse choreography, if you notice, I actually do some kung fu moves because I literally just finished filming Where Do You Come From? So that's why you see all of these, the snake hands, you know, and yeah, what else? That's it.